I love this one as well. These are also available. They were shown this morning. Doubled plan, and we have the final quantity. So we'll give you a little item number coming up. Stay tuned for that.
First time in almost a year since we've sold those.
Really?
As well, yes.
And is this the complete set?
Complete set, and includes the 1999s. That's the key to this.
Okay.
The 1999 P, D, and P proof coin that you're going to have right here. If purchased individually, $27.95, $28.95, $45.50. For just those three coins.
And stay tuned for the price. Just that's all I'm saying. And in about 7 minutes, you're going to be so excited.
About that.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, Mike's going to give it all away. Good job, Mike.
What am I going to do?
What am I going to do? All right, let's talk about another spectacular savings. This is our Harry S. Truman Coin and Chronicle set. It comes with the window box. It's from 2015, first day of issue, highest possible grade at 70. Now at $499.95, this is a whopping $800 off. Mike, who authorized this?
Well, understand, it actually took several meetings. They go, how can you do that? Well, we say, well, you have to understand, when this originally came out, I mean, you know, the price was right about this. And then all of a sudden overnight, because it became the very first reverse-proof presidential dollar that you're going to have, and the rarest rarest reverse-proof coin ever done by the United States government, it went crazy, and it went to $1,299.95. I have some coins left from the original purchase of this, that I was able to do and say, look, the fact of the matter is I'm just going to sell it for what the original cost was. Understand, my cost in these is more than $499, but at some point, you just have to move on. And so that's what we've done. This coin, when it first came out, was very significant. The United States government made these little things that Robin's reading, called the Coin and Chronicle set, and they made these for years. They took a presidential dollar and put it with a silver medallion, solid silver medallion, and sold this, I think it was about $35 or something. And it was no big deal for years and years. And then in 2015, the presidential dollar, unbeknownst to collectors, the United States government decides to do in reverse proof. Wow. And reverse proof means instead of the field having the mirror finish, the field has the matte finish, and the device of the coin, or Harry Truman, has the raised part and the mirror finish of the coin. Based on that, they only made 17,000, and it was only available in this set. Now, two things happened. It was the very first reverse-proof presidential dollar that was ever released by the United States government. Additionally, they only made 17,000 sets. So what that makes this is by far the rarest reverse-proof coin ever made by the United States government. Is this Harry S. Truman. They followed it up with the Dwight David Eisenhower in reverse proof, which also did 17,000, so it's technically tied. But the Dwight David Eisenhower, I don't think you can find that coin in 70 for less than about maybe $3,000, $5,000, something like that for the Dwight David Eisenhower. Extraordinarily difficult coin to find. So this coin right here, which is the first one. If you take a look at the other coins out there with similar mintages, the 1995 W, American Silver Eagle, they made basically 31,000 of those in this condition, a $30,000 coin. A reverse proof American Silver Eagle, they did 100,000 coins, 5.5, 6 times as many of this. And we sell that coin in this condition for about $1,100 or $1,200. Plus, you get the 1 ounce silver medallion, certified absolutely perfect mint state 70 as well. And they are all first day issues because they were my original coins from when I bought them back in 2015. Now, I didn't pay the $34. I got a couple of sets because they only limited them, I think, to 2 per household. So we had like 6 sets at that price. Then all of a sudden, we're paying $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $800 a set before certification. And that's why the price had to go to $1,299. But for this final quantity that we have of these phenomenally rare, the rarest of the Coin and Chronicle sets, really the rarest reverse proof coin, and the United States government's only done, I think, about 7 reverse proof coins in their history. This is the rarest. It's one of the rarest special edition coins ever done by the United States government. As a matter of fact, if you look at mintages in United States government coins, in other words, how many have been made, this is basically the rarest coin of probably the last 50 years or so, other than maybe one of the gold coins that they did 10,000 of that sells for $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000, something like that.
In perspective to the Chronicles?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, inspective to everything.
Oh, to everything.
Every coin made.
Oh, wow.
No, it's by far the rarest of the Chronicles. That
Okay.
it's a whole different ballgame because of the reverse proof. In the past, when they did the Coin and Chronicles set, they just took a regular presidential dollar. It wasn't distinguishable. Okay. This is distinguishable not just by the certification, which we do a lot of times now, but by the finish. The fact that this is the reverse proof. This is the coin that started the entire thing about the United States government doing special issue coins. They didn't release it. It was one of the single hottest, most desirable coins, and that customer, the rating on this was built at $1,299.95.
And I know the coins are really cool, and you know, we always listen to Mike, and we always learn. I mean, this is part of American history. It's tangible. You get to hold it. You get to see it. It's so fun to see the U.S. stamp. I mean, our 33rd president, 8 cents. I mean,
yeah, that's an authentic stamp, by the way.
Right.
An uncanceled authentic stamp. That one's quite old as well.
I know. So it's just really cool. And then you'll also get, this is great if you have grandchildren. I mean, his early life and career, military service. So this all comes included at $800 off, plus the Red Oak presentation box as well. 443789 is your item number. We do want to mention the Susan B. Anthony, Mike.